Did you know you could act?
No, but I thought that I might be able to, and I thought, you know, it's like you don't know you can do anything until you do it, until you try it. I mean, the worst it can do is I could fail, but I've failed. You know, failure
you don't
is
really know success unless you fail.
No,
right?
You know, and also to stop doing things that you might really want to do in your lifetime because you're afraid that you might fail seems ridiculous to me. The truth is, I'm an artist, and that's what I do. Some things are successful and some things aren't.
Like Anthony Quinn, do you give the best to everything you do?
Absolutely.
The success is then determined after that. You
Absolutely.
do the best you can.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every time I do anything, I really feel that it's my art, no matter what it is that I'm doing. And so I have to do it to the best of my ability.
I mean, you know, just do it. And you know, don't listen to the haters, you know. You got to just keep going and making your movies. And now's a great time to do it because you can, you know, and I'm not plugging Apple, but you can use your iPhone and you can make a film. The software is easy to cut, but, you know, with there's no real reason not to now, you know, and there's so many ways to show your film online that you can really, like, if let's say you got friends that want to be actors, you know, like as opposed to them auditioning or trying to get agents and all that stuff, like you just make movies with them and you know what's great about your friends and you just give them a chance to show that. And then if you're a filmmaker, you shoot that and you know, you got a friend who wants to be an editor, let them cut it, and now it's so much easier, you know.
Lee Strasberg said in something he wrote or an interview that actors in America, great actors in America, trifle all their lives. It's as if a great violinist just played trivial things all his life and never played the great material. It's a good example because I think American actors are always just trifling with acting, so to say, and never play the great material. Just don't have an opportunity to play the great material, have really a terrible life in the sense of not getting to exploit one's potential. You know, one doesn't get to do roles over and over and over and over and over, classical roles. There's less and less, in my opinion, high-level classical work. There may be a lot of small companies, semi-amateur company, even pro companies doing classical work. But if you want to work with the best talents, the greatest talents, where are you going to go to have a classical life?
So
great dramatic literature.
What do you do? How could it be different?
Well, it could be very different if somebody wanted to have a high-level classical company. I think theater depends really on one person having a vision and really being willing to, not willing, but obsessed to realize that vision. I think it's fair to say that everybody in America would be a lot better off, everybody in America, if classics were taught properly from the first grade on, as they are in England. I mean, classics, dramatic literature, great dramatic literature in the English language, Shakespeare, so on, and O'Neill, and so on, Tennessee, whatever. And they're simply not taught here in the same way they are in England. I don't mean to hold England up, I just mean it's too bad that we don't have a sense of the importance of the nourishment of theater for people living in a civilized society. And you see theaters growing smaller and smaller. I'm looking at these signs and I'm thinking, 100 years from now, will anybody be sitting here with those signs? Because I'm not sure there will be theater left, except very small, what's beginning to happen, very small groups doing their thing. And that appeals to a small group of people. So the idea of, you know, people falling down dead to see Eleanor Aduza or Sarah Bernhardt or something, or anybody else in the world, has gone by. Now you can't really make much of a living in the theater. Everybody young has to go into television to make a living and then do theater as a kind of hobby, actually, because you can, not enough talented people can make a living in it. My sense of truth, professionally, I mean theatrically, my sense of theatrical truth never squared with the kind of 4 weeks and up rehearsal period and move here, move there, and talk like this and talk like that. I always felt I was in the wrong business. And then I started working with Arthur, and he had a revolutionary rehearsal technique, which was for the actor, I'll try to be very brief, to read the play. You read the play in the beginning. Obviously, you sit together, you read the play when you're all going to do a play together. And then you would read a scene and you would get up and attempt to act it out in your own words. This is the actor's nightmare. But anyway, we tried this technique, and all of a sudden it occurred to me that I was in the right business, that I really was an actor, and that it was my inability to get along had to do really with kind of the structure of commercial theater that hadn't worked for me, and I didn't have a personality to deal with it. Some people are lucky to have a personality to deal with it, but I couldn't find my theatrical truth in that structure somehow. I guess it wasn't developed enough. I don't know. I'm fine now, but I had a really hard time.
There's always a controversy who's right in a modern play. But in a Shaw play, he knows what's right. He tells you who's right. And you're playing it against somebody who is wrong. And wrong is wrong, and right is right. And you're playing it as right and wrong are the same. And so we don't get any kind of aspect of what you really want to tell them about how wrong they are and how right you are. It's not heroic enough. Now, an English actress doesn't need all that. She doesn't need that much explanation. She says, I can live on bread. Good enough, sweetheart. Good enough. When have I asked for more? Great. Great. Don't knock it. Don't, but we can't do it. So you've got to do something else. You've got to know what the heroic is, and you've got to know Shaw, and you have to have that stardom in you.
Of course, it's not a matter of degree, but we never know exactly what's going to come. We expect something, and sometimes we do get exactly what we expected, and then we're already on to the next. If I just say to you, how are you?
Wonderful.
Well, it wasn't quite what I expected, so it stopped me a little bit. No, but I mean, you see, if I say that to you, what I really want to say to you is, how long did you rehearse on this scene? And it's a jump in, right? Now, if I say, how are you? And the actor says, fine. I said, now, how long did you work on this scene? Now, if I say, how are you? And he says, I really have a terrible headache. I say, oh, I'm so... Well, yeah, how long did you work on this scene? You understand? But if I get what I expect, like I'm fine, then I'm already on to what I want to do. The next thing that I want. But you'll get the hang of it. You'll start to explore that in your own lives and see how crucial that is to a true give and take.
How could you do that? What's the matter with you? How could you do that? Dad, you killed 21 men.
Okay, okay. The action, darling, is holding back from killing him. Not standing, but holding back, maybe putting... I mean, I'm... And you did it, and we have to see physically that you want to kill him. Remember, everybody can talk loud. Everybody. Everybody can do this, and louder, and still louder. That doesn't mean that you're acting. It means that I want it, child. I want to tell you something. I'll kill you from here, and not from the words. More, 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 more. We can pull you down, but we can't lift you up.
How could you do that? What's the matter with
So
you?
you're walking away. You're walking away. Grab him by the neck. Grab him by the shoulders. Do something.
How can you do that? How can you do that? You killed 20 men. What? How can you do that? What killed? 20 men? I never killed anybody. Then explain it to me. Explain it to me. Tell me what you did. Explain it to me. You're a boy. What could I do, huh? I'm in business. You gotta process the process, don't work, you're out of business. You don't know how to operate. Your stuff is no good. They close you up. They tear up your contracts. What the hell's it to them? Why didn't you shut them out? I thought by the time they spotted them, I'd have my process going again, and they see that they needed me. They let it go by.
Okay. It's business talking to civilization. The boy is civilized and says, you are a murderer and you deserve to be killed. That must be in the scene.
Chris, I did it for you. I'm 61 years old. When am I going to get another chance to make something big for you? You knew they'd crash. Don't mean that. Then you thought they'd crash. I was afraid, maybe. You were afraid, maybe. You were afraid, maybe. I had those guys, those kids were up in the air. For you. They're up in the air for you. For me? You did it for me? I was dying out there, and you were killing my boys, and you did it for me? What the hell do you think I was thinking of? The business? The goddamn business? What? Who the hell are you? Don't you have a country? Don't you have a world? Who the hell are you? You're not even an animal. Animals don't kill their own. What am I to do, huh? What am I to do? I tear the tongue right out of your head. What am I to do? What am I? Jesus God, what?
You see, what I did was make the actor improvise on the stage. So they had no rehearsal. And in the improvisation, the actor's guts, his life, his everything started to work. And he was ruthless, and he was abandoned, which is very good, but you have to stage it. If not, he would have killed him. Now, every movement at the father was coming from the man who was the actor, the son who understood the theme of the American world. You did it for me. You did it, you killed for me. So, what kind of a son wants to inherit that kind of money? So he says, you're not even an animal. So how big do you want the writer to be? So, let's applaud Mr. Miller. And then let's applaud these two wonderful actors. Thank you. Pretty brave. pretty brave to do what he did. He really went for it. He didn't care, and that's real acting.